The following is a transcript of interviews done by investigative journalist Stanley Whitfield. This is from the second tape of recordings of the interview with Maxima of Magical Melody. Released by Stanley at the time of his death to dozens of news outlets around the world via burner accounts. We will continue to release as much as we can of these recordings. Stanley, this sounds incredibly serious. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Maxima, the fact that I'm here means it's already too late for me to turn back. Stanley, you have a child, aren't you concerned about their safety? Maxima, I've already called in a favor with global security. Vivace and her goons won't be able to touch him now. Stanley, okay. Okay. Let's start from the beginning then. Maxima, the very beginning? Stanley, as far back as you can go. Maxima, all right. I was very young when my family was purchased by Vivace from the circus that we had been in for 2 generations. I had just completed my first show, but the ringmaster and owner was old and his son didn't want to continue the family business. I don't remember how many siblings I had. I was just so young I didn't understand what was going on. All I knew is that they'd test us, inject us with this black ooze, and then some of us would get sick. My mother Tallulah and I were the only ones that did remotely well. But like my sisters, my mother got sick a lot. Stanley, did you have any brothers? What happened to them? Maxima, the chemical. As I know it now, it doesn't do well with male test subjects. It's often unstable, makes them aggressive, or they just, well, explode. Stanley, what? Males explode when exposed to it? Maxima, not right away, just. Some of them do. Stanley, I see. Maxima, this chemical, whatever they made it from, it plays nicer with female subjects. The younger they are the better, it changes something about you whenever you're exposed to it. For me, aside from the obvious changes of speech and higher thinking. My eyes. They get this weird light in them. They don't look like they used to. I don't look like a monkey anymore. I'm like this weird mix of human and monkey. Stanley, that sounds very distressing. Maxima, it is. Sometimes. Eventually my family was either scattered off and sold, or they passed away from the testing, leaving only me. I was so young, so I didn't understand what was going on. I thought everything was a game, like when I was in the circus. I loved to perform well to make everyone laugh and cheer. It made me feel like I was home back in the circus. I suppose it's not that much of a surprise that I liked performing. It's in my blood. My great-grandfather was an organ grinder monkey. He helped the ringmaster earn enough to start the circus I was born into. Stanley, what was his name? Maxima, tempo. Most of my family got named like that: tempo, rhythm, musical words by the ringmaster. My mother was skipped because the ringmaster's daughter named her. I apologize, I've seemed to gone off topic. Stanley, it's all right. It's very interesting to hear about your family history. Maxima, yes, but I'm here on a mission, not to be nostalgic. Stanley, I understand. Please, continue. Maxima, the researchers tested me often. Things started out simply. Until I started to talk. I had only wanted some water and asked for some. The entire facility was in an uproar for 2 days hearing me speak for the first time. Stanley, yes, it seems so mundane now considering. Maxima, I wonder if the others gained the ability of speech like me? Stanley, they weren't in research facilities though. Maxima, you don't need to be in a facility to be exposed to that chemical. Stanley, I see. Maxima, I had just went on my first mission to fight when Aria was born. Stanley, born? Maxima, yes, Ari. She was made in a lab. The researchers were experimenting and well, an explosion happened and Aria appeared. I was there that day. She was so small and confused, but she seemed happy to meet everyone. No one knew what to call her, so I named her. I guess you could say I adopted her that day too. As a little sister. She was just like me and I saw that instantly. So I gave her a name just like she was one of my family. The name stuck instantly, though when Vivace showed back up at the lab she wasn't too pleased that she missed her chance to name her creation. But she had to pick Cadence up from school. Stanley, who's Cadence? Maxima, Cadence, that was her name back then. Stanley, Did she change her daughter's name? Maxima, yes.